matter.
Yeah,
They do
because
not matter when you're trading option paper.
yep, because people are front running news, and that news may not be out yet, so the charts may not be reflecting it.
That is exactly right. All right, let me see if we're on the YouTube. I think we are. Wow, look at me doing work. All right, hold on, Raleigh. Let me share this on the Telegram. Look at us. We're high tech.
You are high tech, and yeah, Lance, we'll smooth this out in the future. But yeah, you're the man, you're the host, you made it happen. Outstanding.
Look at us. We're high tech. All right, we're gonna go back. Do y'all see my screen?
Yes, see your
Okay.
screen, and we also see the penny options off to the right.
Okay, perfect. Oh wow, look at us. We're doing it big, gang. If we had a profit target here in Ford intraday and y'all don't sign up, then I'm never doing anything free again. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. Totally kidding, but everyone should. Let me get look at us go here. I have all my charts set up wrong, but it's all good. Let me get the YouTube live going. And then we'll get back to business.
So, Lance, while you're doing that, just another question that's come up. Is
Sure
there a
thing.
particular time during the day when you find these unusual options to be most attractive? Or let me put it this way, when you decide to enter in the market, in other words, do you like those that are popping up closer towards the end of the day, or maybe in the morning, or it could be at any time during the day?
Oh yeah, the best time is the first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes.
Okay.
So those are usually the best times ever. The best times. Yeah, did we not have anyone posted in the chat? Jeremy or anyone for Ford? It's right there on the screen too, by the way. I mean, once you have the scanner, you'll be able to do it, but it's right there on the screen, obviously, really big as well, so everyone can see it. You know what I should do? I should make my font bigger. I have to cram the screen though, but here's what I'm gonna do. Let me make my font bigger for everyone. Y'all probably are like, that is so small. And I agree. I mean, look at my eyes. I have to wear glasses. Oh wow, is that better? It's huge now. Ooh,
Hmm.
positive 900 tick. I should get the market rallying here. Ooh, we got a nice little uptick there. Wow. Oxy hit 35.91. Jeez. They bought some Rocket Lab puts May 2nd. I think you probably get earnings in there, right? Yeah. So Rocket Lab. Oh, let's go over Delta. Ah, look at, I almost forgot. Let's
Yeah,
go
we
over
had
Delta.
Delta next, and Sedge were the three that you said let's keep an eye on.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Wow. Probably one of the worst looking charts in the market, Raleigh. Um, so obviously I love it. Last quarter, Delta popped 61 to wow, high 60s. Flat, down, small pop here. I can't imagine sentiment is good in airliners. It's got to be horrible. So today they bought the Delta weekly 39s. Wow. Weekly 39s in Delta. Have we seen anything recently in Delta? Those expired in March. So really just today. What about any other airliners? Those expired. Small AAL puts. Oh, Delta calls. Delta, Delta, Delta. The implied move. So here's how we find the implied move is about 3.25. So we'll add the current share price. Let's just say 36.10 plus 3.25. We're looking at about 39.34. The 39 calls are a little rich at 88 cents. They should be around 60-ish. But obviously you're having lots of um, volatility in the current market. Huh. Let's do a very, very small delta order. Maybe like, I don't know, 3 contracts. So let's just do maybe a very, very small delta order. The reason why we're going to do delta super small is its earnings, and obviously the market and the airliners have been super volatile, but also they're out the money calls. I mean, they're pretty far out the money. They're about $3 out the money. So I'll do like a 3 lot. That's it. Try at 85. All right, instantly filled. All right. Well, we got something. Nothing crazy, but something. Dell. Earnings are, I believe they're after the close or tomorrow morning. Tomorrow
Yeah,
morning.
Mark posted, yeah, they're the 9th, April 9th.
Yeah, so they're tomorrow morning in Delta. It wouldn't be a session without some earnings, you know? We have to have some earnings. If we don't have any earnings, it's kind of it just feels weird. It's we're getting into earnings season. We got to start a little bit. Some hog calls coming in. Big boy scanner. So let's see if we see any more autos. Well, actually, that's good for Ford. Hog, May 20 calls. Talk about an aggressive dip buy. So that'd be good for Ford, right? Harley Davidson, Ford, same auto space. That's good. That's good. That's good for the autos. How are we looking in the spoos? Holding, oh God, wow. Spot VIX. Yeah, we had a pretty large sell-off from the equity open. Where's the trend? Oh my God, that trend is at 2.5. Well, that's extreme. Wow. Anything over 2 is pretty extreme. It's a little crazy. Ticks are still negative. The market eternals look like garbage, but don't matter. We're not trying to day trade the S&P. Just trying to pick some names. I did like this JP Morgan if they keep buying it, because I think JP Morgan is Friday. Yeah, Friday. So you have JP Morgan Friday. Some IMAX puts. That's an odd one. You don't see that every day. Volume is 1,000. Open interest is only 50. Maybe they're saying no one's going to the movies anymore. IMAX April 22's hit. Wow, the stock's down like 30% in a couple days. They're now $1.15, so they must have already jumped. So everything that hits will be under $1. So those in IMAX probably moved already. Hawk puts? That's an odd stock. I never heard of that one. April 3 puts and talk. Never heard of this company. Wow. 5,000 contracts. What do they do? Healthcare. Virtual health. Never heard of that. Interesting. Oh, we did see some GM calls. Well, that's good for Ford. We are seeing some autos, Ford, GM, Hog. Alan says, does the trend think we'd bounce tomorrow? This is very rare to see it this high. So if the trend doesn't come down tomorrow, we could have another crash. That's kind of the rule of thumb. You have a trend above two. If the market doesn't bounce the next day, then you're going to have a major downturn. So this is a little obsessive to say the least. You see how usually we can never hold two, we go right back down. So that's really getting into market eternals, but yeah, that's not good. And if you look at the tick here at a negative 1300 tick, that's not good either. All right, we got some Intel. Oof.
Yeah, they
May
just
2nd, 20s. Wow. I mean, Intel's bloodbath. You got to have some guts to trade this market. Intel was 20 bucks earlier today. Now it's 17.90. Wow. I don't know if I could buy these. I don't think I can. May 2nd, 20s. They might get earnings. Let me see. I would have to have some kind of catalyst for these out the money calls, like an earnings, something like that. I think you do get earnings. How much are they? 96,000. Probably need some more for Intel. 96,000 is not going to move the needle for a stock like Intel. We need a little bit more size. Oh, you jumped in on next. Let me see next.
that's the April
Right, that's the
25
one name we
signals.
we wrote down. Yeah, this stock was super strong. It was 7.5 earlier. It was up 20%. Now it's only up 8%. So it's down 12% off the highs. Wow, they are trading it like butter. Wow. Almost 6,000 contracts traded, 8,200 of the eights. I probably can't trade it on here live because it's a little too wide. And I don't want to, you know, it's just a little too wide for me to uh, do on here. But you could always do the stock. I mean, it's 6.5 bucks. So I would say for this one, if you want to play it, probably just do the common. I bought some more for it at 31. Good. So I would, for this, because the options are so wide, I don't want to say, hey, I'm buying it. And then everyone, bid ask is too wide. So I would probably just do the common on that one. A little too wide right now. NBIS, that's an AI play. Some April 18 puts. This is a new IPO AI stock. We did very well in it on calls the other week, but I don't know if I could buy puts this deep down. They're about 95 cents. Probably gonna pass on those. I had calls in it and did very well a couple weeks ago, but I really don't want to buy puts down in the hole like right now. Let's see. The 11th is a weekly option, correct. So if it just says like April, it's always going to be the monthly option. If it gives you like April 11th, that will be this Friday. May 2nd will be first week of May. Um, so we'll give you the date if it's a weekly option only. Correct. Wow, Oxy just sold off almost another dollar.
Hmm.
Maybe I should have bought those Oxy puts up 10x. Now they're a buck. Oof. They have to know something in Oxy here. We posted that in the option pit this morning at like 12:30. So they 10,000 contracts, open interest is only 56. Those puts are up 10x. Wow. You know what really gave the market away today was that Bitcoin. Bitcoin broke this morning. And then as soon as Bitcoin broke, we started getting negative 1,000 ticks. And then it was game over for the market. And the Russell sold off pretty hard.
Yeah, where's Bitcoin trading now? Is it about 70, 75, 77?
I mean, I think it goes to 50,
Yeah.
76 and
So,
change.
wow.
I don't think there's no reason for Bitcoin to ever go up. And if you look at like MSTR down 30 bucks, we did Pfizer puts earlier. Wow, Pfizer now crashing. A closeout of Pfizer puts at 25%. Now they're probably up what, 80, 90%? Wow. Yeah, so that's my biggest concern, Raleigh, for the market is all the crypto because you saw gold sell off
Yep.
Friday because people got margin called and had to sell gold to make up for stocks. What happens when people get margin called on Bitcoin?
On Bitcoin. Yeah. Shit.
Then they're going to sell, I mean, everything. I mean, especially a lot of the funds that went into Bitcoin. They're going to sell Bitcoin, and then I think it's just a dead asset. But gold and silver holding up okay. Well, was. Gold
Yeah,
is.
gold's
Gold
trading below
was.
3,000 now. Just
Yeah.
about.
And then copper too is a big red flag. So some red flags. That's an understatement. You know, I did like seeing the big Mag 7 stocks today. Like Amazon was pretty strong. And then, 15-point reversal. Apple, 20-point intraday move. Like that's just insane. Um, yeah, that's pretty wild. So looking for individual stocks, I really don't want anything tied to the market, like no Apple, Microsoft, Google, nothing like that. I really want something independent. It's Delta's earnings, Ford is, I mean, an auto stock, they're 33 cents. I'll take those any day. But I really want cheap stuff that I'm not too tied to the market on. That's my big thing right now. It could be calls, can be puts, just anything cheap is what I prefer. Freeport is a copper, a weekly 26 puts. So Freeport is a copper stock, yeah. Wow. And look, they've made the bid ask so wide on these volatile stocks. Look at this. This would be a crime. 0 by 47, 10 cents wide. So when you have a 20% wide bid ask, I would avoid stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's that's the market maker saying, do not, we don't want anyone getting in this. Even the calls are pretty wide. So they're gonna charge you to trade some tickers. That's for sure. Wow. That is that's pretty wide. I did SPX. I did SPX. It was too wide, the XXP. Yeah, it's the last few days, the options have been just illiquid because they don't want you to get in. Oh, next. I can't do next. The bid ask is too wide. I don't want to do it on in front of people. They're 20, 35. I can't with a right mind tell you to buy a spread that wide. So if you want to play it, I would say look at the individual common. Ooh, Citigroup calls. Ooh, we might have found something good. Does Citigroup have earnings? If they do, I'm buying these. 415. Oh no. That's not this week. Oh, City. I like these calls in City. I guess City will move with JP Morgan. The 63s, good Lord. That's a 10% move in a bank. Well, like 8%. Oh my goodness. This is some crazy option flow. And those are weeklies. Oh my gosh. I, I don't know if I could go that far out the money. The stock was 62 this morning. I love this trade though. They're 57 cents. Yeah. Trying to think what banks have earnings. I think JP Morgan is this week. They are. Goldman Sachs, are you this week? They are. So we'll move with the banks. Bank of America, you're next week. No, you're this week too. Um, it's a good order in Citi. Volume greater than open interest. They bought them above the ask. I mean, you buy Citi calls, you're basically needing a market rally, right? There's no doubt about it. You're basically playing the equity market. So really it says, do you think the stock market rallies tomorrow? CarMax has earnings? Yeah, they're like those are going to be super expensive. Do I think the market rallies tomorrow? We got 14 minutes. Maybe. Maybe on City. Because you don't have um maybe on City. Let's see if they buy any more banks before the close. It's a maybe on City. So City will be with the banks that report. I just don't like how they're so far out the money. Like, I don't think a bank is going to move 10%. I think it's like physically impossible. Oh, good job, level up. Yeah, I did a very, very small delta trade to show you how small. I literally did three contracts, which for me is like just something because it's earnings. And I think the banks, I think God, they're $4 out the money. Oh, wow. I mean, they're cheap, but they're $4 out the money. So I only did a couple contracts or three contracts. For me, that's super, super small. Usually I'll do 20 to 40 contracts a position. But since it's earnings and they can go to zero if they miss or stay flat, I don't want to go big on anything. So very, very small size. Unless we get like 4 or 5 orders in a row, like Oxy this morning. We get multiple orders come in, then we'll probably go a little bit bigger. Y'all, when next time y'all see Graham, y'all got to give him crap. Look what he posted. He posted a picture of me from the guy from some show. Here's me back, I don't know, it's probably 26. And there's me now. Like, yeah, I gained a little weight. So roast Graham if you ever see him on a webinar. Ask him how his ANAT or Carvana or Bitcoin.
Oh my gosh, cage match is coming up.
Yeah, ask him how all that worked for him. That's what y'all have my full permission to make fun of him. Publisher Nate made me pay out of pocket. And I had a buddy in town come visit me, made me pay out of pocket to go film bass fishing on the lake. I said, what a cheap, we won't say the word, but made me pay out of pocket for everything. I said, geez, Nate, 500 bucks really? But made me do it. We just Bassmaster Classic fishing.
Oh my God.
Oh
Hey, Lance, for whatever it's worth, man, the Dow has just given everything back.
yeah, we're down 2%.
Everything back.
Yeah. We got to retest the lows. And
Oh my
the Goldman
God.
said they wanted stocks, they wanted S&P to hit 5K to buy. And I didn't think they were going to push it there that so quick, but they pushed and got it. So they got what they wanted. I'm assuming um, uh, they didn't participate and they saw the gap up and they're like, we need to put a note so the
Yeah.
market sells off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so a little, but my biggest thing is like Apple's implied move this week was 16%. See if I'll pull it up for y'all. Here we go. Apple had, can we get it now? Apple has a $12, pardon me, it was a $16 move yesterday. A $12 move this week. Apple.
Apple. Yeah.
Apple wouldn't even move 2% a week a month ago. Now it's implied 7%, and it's basically Wednesday. I mean, we have 9 minutes left. This is insane. When Apple was up today, like $3, when it was like around 190, the call options were up 15%. That's
Hmm.
it. Because the implied vol is so high in Apple. It is insane right now, the market makers and the options. So if you're trying to day trade like the SPY, to give you an example, the calls are down money, obviously, right? The puts, it's down $10, $11, 2%. The puts are down money. Unless you bought deep in the money puts, I mean, they're up 20%, 28, 40. That's insane. But that goes to show you just how expensive options are. So the correlated stocks, the Apples, the Amazons, obviously the SPY, QQQ, that is going to be the hardest thing to do right now is to trade those stocks. So Apple just popped $3 here. Clear Channel Outdoors. Here's a weird one. Okay. CCO just hit the big boy scanner. The December 1 calls, 10,000 contracts just hit. And CCO, I've never even heard of this stock. Clear Channel Outdoors. Is that the fishing network? I think so. It's a weird one. If you want to maybe look at the stock, probably wouldn't do the options, obviously. But maybe if you want to buy a cheap penny stock, CCO, interesting. Very weird. I'm going to write that one for tomorrow. CCO. CCO. Citigroup with a little bounce here. You probably could day trade or do a short swing trade on Citi. It just popped 50 cents. It's the airport scan system. Oh, is it? Maybe tomorrow, if the options tighten up, or just look at the stock. But that's very odd. It was how much? It was 130K. I mean, not a lot of money, but a lot for that stock. Yeah, look at Citi go. Lance, never be conservative. They just, wow, they're up 20% already, those Citi calls? No way. Where do they buy them at? No, no, they bought them at 60. They're almost 70, so they're up like 12%, not much. But those cheap options will move. Oh, some baby Neo calls. Oh man. They're barking up my tree now. China ADR? I love the end of the day orders. If China gaps up, does Neo go? I think it can. All right, these should be like 30 cents. If they are, count me in. No more than 30 cents. Wow, 30 cents. All right. Here's your end of day lotto. Neo threes for April monthly expiration. I don't know how I pass these up. Good job in Citi in at 55, out at 69. Great job. I don't know if I could pass these up. I can't. China gaps up, Neo goes up, US market gaps up, Neo goes up. I can't pass these up. Let's go ahead and slam some Neo. This is exactly what I love. Cheap options, end of the day. Little stock, it's $3. I got filled at 31. So we'll do a little cheap play. I'm gonna post this on Telegram as well. Cheap penny play.
Hey, Lance, just to make sure that I've recorded things correctly, the three trades that I see that you looked at or you placed were Ford, Delta, and Neo. Did you do a Citi as well, or were you just looking at
No, I
Citi?
didn't. We had some people in the chat do it though on the
Okay.
YouTube. So I'll uh I'll bask in their glory.
But I hope everybody is understanding what's motivating Lance to take these trades. He's got the penny option scanner there. Neo just popped up. It just happened in real time. He took a quick look at it, he sized it up, he liked it, and he placed the order. And so you're really seeing how he uses this tool, to make these decisions. And as he said, he loves the first 30 minutes of the day and the last 30 minutes of the day. And here we are with 3 minutes left in the trading session. And who knows, there might be another sweet opportunity that pops up any minute now.
Yeah, I'm kind of salty I didn't take Citi. If they would have had earnings this week, I would have been all over it.
That's the question. Yeah, you were wondering if there was earnings,
The
but you're
stock
thinking that they
just
might be
popped a
coupled to JP.
dollar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
$1 in a bank stock? That's insane. Like, that's huge. For a boring bank stock to move $1 in a flash, like that is huge.
So, can I ask a question of the group here? It's kind of an interesting question. Why, folks, I'm going to post this to you. Why was Lance wondering whether there were earnings for Citi? Put it in the chat panel.
Can I answer, Raleigh? No.
I know you can answer, but I'm just interested. I want to make sure that people understand the relevance of it.
United. Yeah, there's some United leaps. Those are March of next year, though.
Yep,
Those are March of
exactly.
next year.
Exactly. He wanted to see if earnings was on the calendar because did somebody have news about the earnings and they were trading that information? Without the earnings being there wasn't an obvious catalyst. Not that there should have been, but
Yeah, I mean, you do have the correlated earnings with other banks. So
yeah.
like Citi will move with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman. So we'll have that correlation, but I mean, it's a huge implied move. I mean, you basically almost an 8% move in the stock. I mean, that's huge. Some TSM weekly calls. Oh man, they're really hammering some end of day stuff today. TSM 152 and a half on the big boy scanner. So some people are betting end of the day that we get a little rally here in the equity markets tomorrow. So some people are placing their bets and checking them twice. Well, maybe not checking them twice, but placing their bets, we'll say. Um, very interesting. Very interesting here. Huh. Did we get a little no? About to say, yeah, we got a little equity bounce there, but not enough. Not enough to make up for the so the Dow bounced what, 1% right at the close?
Yeah.
So that's gonna get the equity market, or that got the banks, I should say.
Yep.
Wow, Ford closed up 10%? Damn. I wish I would have bought more Ford. Dang. What did Ford do? Pop 15 cents off the lows. Well, shoot. Yeah, Ford, they bought the April monthly 8.8 and a half. They also bought some hogs. You know what I just realized? We did Ford and Neo. Both are little airliners. It didn't even hit me till now. Or not
I
airline,
mean,
auto
Delta,
stocks.
yeah,
Yeah.
auto stocks. Yep.
Yeah. It didn't even hit me. I guess we're long autos. We're long Ford made in Mexico and Canada. Because Ford doesn't make anything here in the States really.
Neo in China, right?
Neo's in China. I mean, heck, Toyota, the Tundra is made in San Antonio, Texas.
Hmm.
And it's pretty wild that Ford, Dodge too, the trucks and the GMC and Chevy for GM, they're all made in Mexico and Canada, the parts and stuff. So it's like, how is Ford an American motor company when you're not even American? I think they make a couple cars in America, but it is pretty crazy that you know, you think they would get, I mean, I guess Ford can't go down much more. But, obviously they're going to be very sensitive to tariff plays. I think that's it, gang. We saw a little bit, not too busy. I mean, it was a little slow. Keep an eye on that CCO clear channel. Uh, buy a Ford at employee discount. I know I've heard that. It's a marketing gimmick. It's a marketing gimmick though. The Ford employee pricing, it's a way to get you in the door.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
It's a market share play. Yep.
So it's yeah, but it's the autos. I honestly I don't know what happens to autos with all this. I mean, they were already struggling, Stellantis especially, but we shall see. Stellantis, I don't know how they're not under. Um, they've been posting horrible with the new Dodge Charger EV. It's just been a mess. But anywho, anywho. Now you see why Buffett sold 50%. Yeah, that's right, Kevin. I just saw your message sitting on T-bills. I know he sold some Bank of America. I didn't know he sold 50% of Apple though. I didn't know that about Apple. Didn't Trump say iPhones can be made in the US?
Oh,
Something
I'm
like
sure he
that.
did.
I thought someone told me he said that today. But the Ford cars, the parts and everything, I thought their assemblies mostly in Mexico and the parts pass through Canada and Mexico. So they're not fully assembled in the US. Like, well, I had an F-150 back in the day, and when you open the door, it gives you a breakdown of percentage of where everything's made, which is pretty wild. And I mean, you look at a new F-150 truck, they're like up to $90,000 now. It is just pure chaos. the Raptor R's are still going for 130,
Whoa.
20 grand over sticker still.
Wow.
We'll see, gang. Right now it is a Wall Street casino. Um, eight, yes, on Ford 8.85. Yeah, I will show you. You could take a screenshot. You're probably looking at the weeklies. Ford is the April 17th, 2025. Expiration 8.85. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Phil. And good to see you. All right, gang. If you signed up for the penny option, thank you, thank you. I'll get with the team to book some trainings. Don't make fun of my overweight picture that Graham, you want to see it? That's all from Graham. Photoshop, Photoshop. And then Josiah, look at this. Look at these
Yeah,
guys.
Josiah there, and that's Graham just to
Josiah
the right of him.
said,
Right?
I have a dad bod. Graham just had a kid looking all thin. Go ahead and make fun of Graham next time you see him. Say, how much did you lose in Bitcoin? How much did you lose in Annette? How much did you lose in the Cavo, Carvana, whatever those C stocks are? Ask him that. Ask him how much pain he's in when he opens up his account. And then when he says, you see that pain you feel, Graham, when you open up your account? That's how I feel when I'm shoving donuts down my throat. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But you know what's a good indicator is Tom Lee. Whatever Tom Lee says, do the opposite. Though, if you see him on TV,
Yes.
he's the best contrarian indicator in the market. So someone did tell me this morning that he started to sound bearish because he was talking how the tariff days were going to make the markets go up. And they're like, Tom Lee's bearish now. And I said, really? And I'm like, oh my God, well, the market should go straight up if Tom Lee's bearish. So we'll see. I do think we're near, I don't want to call it dead bottom, but I am starting long term to start looking my chops. And I've already put a lot of money in the market, which I'm down on from about a couple weeks ago. But I want to really start getting some equities or some stocks if we keep selling off too. I don't know if we will though. We'll see.
Yeah,
But
that's
anyhow, everyone, best of luck. And if Ford and Neo go up 25, 30% tomorrow, start scaling out. If they go down 50% tomorrow, you did not attend here. This will all be erased from your imagination. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, we'll take it step by step. We'll try to book as much training as possible. We'll be live again tomorrow at 3:30 on the YouTube. So if you're not part of the YouTube, just go ahead, sign up, turn on or sign up. I think you subscribe. I think that's what it's called. And then once you do, you'll get a notification. I still post it on Telegram. Yesterday, I obviously was on this roundtable show instead of YouTube because they asked me last minute. So I was like, okay. But I will be back to the normal YouTube schedule starting tomorrow.
that's great. Lance,
Yeah.
the amount of time that you're spending with people now is just awesome. Because I know that you have a huge emphasis on education. You want to make sure that you're trying to stamp out financial illiteracy is really what you're doing. And you want to make sure that people are aware and knowledgeable about what's going on. So you're spending a lot of your time. And the cool thing is this, Lance, as much as I know you, you would much rather be doing this than writing newsletters.
Oh God, I can't stand doing the newsletter thing or the all that.
Yeah,
Obviously, when I write, it's all misspelled and in horrible grammar. Uh,
that's what ChatGPT was for.
like stuff like that. So I don't, when you see something really nice written and stuff, please note it's either Chat GPT or not me. When you see something in chicken scratch, that is obviously coming from me. Um, because, I type text. Well, I type fat fingering. I text like a fourth grader, and then my girlfriend gets mad at me when I put a thumbs up, or I just say okay. But in reality, I mean, I don't know how to type good or anything like that. And if you need anything, last penny option thing, there's the page. Do get a 14-day money back guarantee, so no harm, no foul if you're busy or whatever. But there's the link. I think that's the link. There it is.
Yes, POD. Yep.
All right, I gotta go. I have to go. I have an appointment here. I gotta run to at 5, so I need to look somewhat presentable.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe put on decent looking clothes instead of a tank top. But it is hot here in Florida again, so it is definitely hot. Super hot here again. All
All
right, let
right,
me
buddy. Well,
see.
I'm going to grab the screen here from you, Lance. And folks, once again, I'm going to stay here for a little bit longer, make sure we answer your questions. I've got a quick little summary that I'm going to do. We've got Lance for literally a few more seconds. So if you have any specific questions, please, put them in the panel here and we'll address those. So for those of you that may have come a little late to this session, my name is Raleigh White. I'm the senior moderator here at the Trading Pub and at the Prosperity Pub. And I do have the great good fortune to work on a regular basis with wonderful people like Lance Ippolito as they're sharing with us tools that they've initially created for themselves on how they like to get an edge trading the markets. And once they see consistency, in their own accounts, with these kinds of programs, that's when we take a look at figuring out how we can make these available to the general public. And from that standpoint, that's what this is all about. So this is a live presentation, and a number of you have asked, is there a way that we can get a copy of this? And the answer is you certainly can. All I need from you is I just need your name and email address, and go ahead and say, send me the replay. Put that in the chat panel. Put your name and email address and say, send me the replay, and we'll make sure that we send this out to you as soon as it's available. Okay? So the second thing that I've done is I've created a short little summary over what was presented today. Now, I'm going to cut out all the testimonials and marketing stuff, and this is just the bare bones of the program, and then I'll walk you through what the special offers are because I want to make sure that everybody is aware of those. If you've got questions, please put them in the chat panel, and when I'm done, I'll come back and take a look and answer the questions that I can. So the focus today was on the Penny Options Pro. It's a remarkable program that's centered on the Penny Options Pro dashboard. Each day, this dashboard flags a handful of penny priced options with the potential to double overnight. It checks to see if the option volume has spiked by at least 10 times its normal volumes, and then it runs additional proprietary filters to see if it's in fact a high probability trade. This is where there's a likelihood that someone is trying to front running what could be a piece of news. So when we spot these things and we try to figure out what's going on here, we can only come to the conclusion that somebody knows something and they're trying to trade in advance of that news becoming public. For example, look at what happened on October 30th. That's the day the dashboard flagged a 43.5 strike calls on Comcast. We see it sitting right here. In this case, it noticed an option buying had spiked 100 times above its weekly average. So you're looking at the volume and you're going like, it doesn't seem like a whole heck of a lot. But when you consider that this is what the normal daily volume is, 5 contracts per day, well, when you see 5,300, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. And you can see right here, it was 5,687. So this is what our scanner picked up. That was 100 times surge in the irregular option buying. So we can consider that is irregular. Typically, something like that doesn't happen unless somebody is front running a piece of news associated with a ticker. And sure enough, that's what happened. Just one day later, Comcast announced a possible spinoff of their cable business. Okay. And as you'd expect, the news caused the options to go crazy. And in just 24 hours, they surged from 84 cents to $1.88. That's 123% gain overnight. And that is exactly what the Penny Options Pro will show us. Okay. So what is it that it show us? once again, it will give you the ticker symbol. All right. It gives you the expiration date, so you know exactly what the expiry is. It gives you the strike price. Okay. It tells you whether it's a call or a put, so whether it's a bullish or a bearish signal. Okay. And once again, it shows you the premium and the volume. All this information is here. And once again, it doesn't show up here unless it's unusual volume, unusual activity. The volume is at least 10 times what its normal amount is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what it takes to get attention on the scanner. And it's going to tell you once again whether the news is expected to be bullish or bearish. Now, we just don't give you the scanner and say, hey, good luck with that. We have a bunch of training modules that are provided as well, and they're all designed to get you up and running as fast as possible. And if you need additional training, we're also going to give you access to Lance's Option Hero Workshop. Now, the Option Hero Workshop is for those of you that are not familiar with trading options. And as a spoiler alert, the kind of options that we're trading here are very, very simple. It's level one options. If there's a bearish signal, you'll be buying a put. If it's a bullish signal, you'll be buying a call. That's level one. You can do it in a retirement account. You can do it in a cash account. And any broker out there that allows you to trade stocks and options, US stocks and options, will allow you to place these trades and give you the permission to do so. Okay. But he just wanted to make sure there was educational content here so that you would get comfortable with the concept of buying a call or buying a put. And most importantly, and this is really key, he's going to invite you to all of the live trading sessions. You'll be able to look over his shoulder and watch him place real money plays, as we did today. He had a live training session today, and you saw exactly what he was doing. And he likes to do these at least once a week for people that have subscribed to the Penny Options dashboard so that you can get super comfortable with how to interpret the signals that are coming and watch and ask Lance questions, as to how he places these trades. He'll walk you through all the different signals that occur. Okay. We'll just talk through them and he'll share some of the secrets to maximize your potential with the dashboard. And what are we talking about here? Just because something shows up on the dashboard, Lance has this intuitive way of basically helping to decide whether it's something we should look at or not. So despite the fact that it's on the dashboard, do you take every single trade that pops up there? Well, he helps you with some of the discretion that he has gained over 15 years of trading the options market, and that can be worth its weight in gold as well. But you see all of that as we saw today. Now, when it comes to pricing, the normal membership fee is $2,497 per year. But today, we're doing something pretty cool. We're sharing the newest version of the Penny Options dashboard. Yes, this came out about 6 months ago, and there have been some new iterations and improvements that make it just the awesome thing that it is today. And in celebration of that fact, we're knocking $1,500 off the real price, off the retail price. So instead of paying $24.97, you'll be able to get access for a year for $997, only $997. And that will give you access to the dashboard. It's going to give you the training modules. It's going to give you the Options Hero Workshop, and it's going to give you access to the live penny trading workshop. There's nothing to download or install. In other words, this is a cloud-based program. Okay. When you get subscribed to the system, you go to your members area and you click on the link, it's going to come up instantaneously on your computer. It will also run on your laptop. It will also run on your pad. It will also run on your phone. So any device that you have where you can get onto the internet, you'll be able to go ahead and see this. And as I said, you can also see this on your phone and the dashboard. And this was one of the more recent enhancements we did, is we really improved how this shows and how this works on your phone. So some frequently asked questions. How much do I need to start using the Penny Options dashboard? Well, every option that hits the scanner by definition is priced under $1, which means that the most expensive options contracts are going to be $100 per contract. Typically, you're going to see something for $38, $79, $52, or whatnot. But by its definition, you're never going to be shown an option that's priced more than $1. and you take that dollar times 100 contracts, it'll be never priced more than $100. So it's very small account friendly. How many signals should I expect to see each day? On average, you could see 15 signals, but Lance has told us today he's been seeing more like 20 to 30 per day. Okay. And especially during the earnings season, because there's just creepy way that there's news that out there that people are trying to trade before an earnings release. And as a result of that, we tend to see more of this unusual options trading activity during earnings season. But you can count on 15 signals a day, and it may pop up to closer to 20 to 30. How many live trading sessions can I attend? All of them. You'll be invited to every single one. There'll be one every week. Now, it's not always on a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Wednesday or whatnot, but it will be during the trading hours because it's a live trading session. And depending on Lance's calendar, he and his team will send you an invite via email or text or telegram telling you that there is a live trading session coming up so that you can attend. And if for whatever reason you can't attend, they're always recorded and they'll be put in the members area so that you can review them. And once again, here's an example of what it looks like in your members area when you want to go to live trading. It's posted in your members area. Do I need any special permissions to trade these kinds of options? Generally speaking, no. We're trading the most basic form of options, which are calls and puts, level one options. Now, if you're a little hesitant, with this program, we understand because it's a very different way to trade options. So we want you to try it for at least the next 14 days. And if you don't start finding better opportunities than you are right now, then we're just going to refund your membership. All you have to do is call us and tell us you want your money back, after 14 days of using this system. Now, as I mentioned, the one-time payment for a year is $9.97. We also have some other deals that are available. So if you go to the landing page, you can see that you can get a 2-year option for $19.97, which is a terrific price. And if you sign up for either one of these packages, either the 1 or the 2-year package, and I'm posting this in the chat panel so that you can see that, you're going to see an offer to upgrade to lifetime if you would like to do so. And the total cost for lifetime is $27.94. So regardless of which program you pick, 1 year, 2-year, or lifetime, you have 14 days to take full advantage of the program. And if for whatever reason you want your money back, call us and we'll refund every cent of your investment. So let me go to the chat panel now and see if I can answer some questions that came up. I see a bunch of you are looking for a replay. That's great. So question which is here from Katie says, hey, Raleigh, how does he choose which ones, are the ones that he likes the best? And he covers that once again in these live trading sessions because there's an element of discretion. For example, when he was looking at Oxy earlier today, he liked the fact that Oxy appeared several times. Okay, that's an example. He also tends to like to trade tickers where he's seen unusual option activity occur in the past. That's another little filter that's there. Today, for example, he got very, very excited about NEO. And as a matter of fact, let me post that for everybody in case you were unaware of it. But here are the 3 trades that Lance took today. Ford, he was looking at the April 25th monthly options. It was an 885 call. He also looked at Delta, which is the April 25 11th. That means it's a weekly option. So it was the April weekly option expiring on the 11th. He was looking at the 39 calls there. And then on NEO, he got very, very excited. First of all, he really likes inexpensive options. So you're talking about you're talking about a 3 call on that. So he liked that. He was aware that it was a car, it's Chinese manufacturer. He just got excited about that. So when you go and when you attend these live trading sessions and you watch as he takes a look and discusses, why he likes one better than the other, then you start to learn that. For example, today the scanner brought up Citibank. And initially he was excited about it, but he said, there's no earnings coming up because he was thinking there was earnings this week. And so for that reason, he decided to step aside, although he did recognize that Citi might follow what happens with other banks. For example, JP Morgan might have earnings this week or whatnot. But for that reason, he basically said, I would just prefer to trade something that might have earnings this week. So that was a discretionary play. He regretted it because of the way Citibank was moving, but that was just a tip to something that you can also use when you take a look at what's going on. I want to see, do I have the scanner up? Hmm. Okay, I don't have my scanner up. Anyway, there are other things that you might want to use on a discretionary basis. Sometimes you're going to basically see where people are jumping in and they're buying above the ask. Okay, and what they're basically saying is, I want to get filled, regardless. That might be something that you want to focus on. I really like people that want to get filled regardless of the price because they want to get filled right now. And maybe that's a positive tip off. But these are all things that are covered in the training. And these are things that you're going to learn as you go through this process. And once again, for those of you that sign up for this program, and it is done outstanding program. I mean, this is something that you're going to use, every day of your trading life. And to that point, some people were going like, "My gosh, do I have to sit here and watch the scanner all day long?" Well, Lance also gave you another pro tip. He likes the first 50. No, no. He likes the first 30 minutes of the open and the last 30 minutes of the open. Those are the areas where he tends to see opportunities that he likes the best. Once again, that's something else, it's a pro trip. So this is something that you're going to learn how to use. Not all tools, you're going to get instantaneously. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some practice. As a matter of fact, for those of you that are brand new to this, paper trade these opportunities. Build your own track record. Prove to you yourself that you know how to enter a trade and get out of a trade. People were asking, "Hey, Lance, how do I know when to exit?" And he said, "Here's what I do. Once I start to get up 20, 25 to 30%, I start taking positions off. If I get up 50%, I take more positions off and then maybe let a couple options just ride." He also keeps a mental stop of around 50%. He said, "Look, these penny options are so cheap. If I lose the whole thing, it doesn't bother me because I'm going to have so many trades that are going to work for me. But I know Lance enough. If he sees the trade going against him about 50%, if he's 50% lower, at that point in time, he's kind of like, maybe I should ditch this and look for something else because there are plenty of opportunities." So, those are things that he shares with you. So you could go like, "Well, Raleigh, what do I do if I only have a single option, a single contract?" Get out at 25%, get out at 30. Why would you want to be piggy? You're going to have another opportunity that's coming up. And these are things that he loves to share with you. Let me see. Yeah. So Doug's asking a question here. I'm totally novice, to calls and puts in level one. Is there a course I can take before I jump into this program? Because I'm fearful that 14 days is not enough time to learn. Yeah, Doug, Google it. I mean, the internet is full of information. Google, how do I buy a call and how do I buy a put? And your information is going to be there. Okay. Does the news flow scanner pick these up too? No, they wouldn't, because the news flow scanner, which is what he calls the Big Daddy scanner, is basically for looking for options over $5. Okay, so that doesn't, so from that standpoint, some of the moves that we saw today, like in Neo and Delta and Ford, they're not going to show up there because it's designed to look for those bigger ticker type unusual option trades that are over $5. So, all right, folks. Well, listen, things are kind of quieting down here. I want to thank you so much for coming today. It's been a pleasure getting to know you all just a little bit better. It's Monday. It's been a wild day. It has been. I mean, the market opened it had a huge gap up today, and it looked like it totally filled what it had lost on Friday, and then it's given it all back. We know that at midnight tonight, the tariffs against China are scheduled to kick in, and that's a total of 104% tariff on China. Other news is floating around there. I just watching, I was reading the New York Times. There's an article there that says that Trump continues to basically say, I don't care who comes to me and what they want to change. Or at this point in time, these tariffs are here to stay. They are here to stay, no questions asked. So once again, it's just telling the market that if anybody's banking on the fact that there might be some reversal of fortune, in what's going on, it doesn't appear to be so. So I think the markets and investors are having a very difficult time trying to establish what's the bottom going to be, where's the bottom going to be, and when can we start normalizing from that position. So from that standpoint, thank you. It is Tuesday. I'm sorry. Thank you, Zoom. It's been a long day for me. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. The markets are closed. We have 3 more days left in the trading week. I want to thank you all for coming, and I look forward to seeing you at a future event. Take care, folks. Bye bye.